Today, Marvel Rivals dropped Division Volume 4, which is going to give us a pretty good insight what we can expect in the second half of Season 1 of Eternal Night Falls coming this Friday. And it's going to start with a few things, of course. Obviously, we knew that Johnny is coming as a duelist, the Human Torch will be a duelist, and the Thing, Ben Grimes, will be a Vanguard, which gives us a new Vanguard for the first time this season and another duelist. But that's not the only thing that's going to be happening. Let's talk about some things which really stood out to me in this 11-minute developer vision. And the first thing that really stood out is the change of what they're doing with Chrono tokens. Now, a lot of people in Season 0 had thousands of extra Chrono tokens. Will that happen at the end of the season? We don't know. But they did now announce that if you are a owner of the Premium Pass, which means that you had the battle pass and you did all the stuff in all the pages. You literally bought everything that can be possibly bought, and you have leftover Chrono tokens. They will be able to be converted to units, which you then in turn can buy a skin or something else with down the line. Now, this is a really good change. I felt like a lot of people were very angry with how they were handling the leftover Chrono tokens. Now, obviously, those Chrono tokens can also be used on old battle passes if you haven't completed those as well still. But now, if you do max out your battle pass, now that is all the pages. So that means you need to complete every page. So, like, for example, on this one, that is also going to include stuff like spending 600 on the Eternal Night Falls gallery card, and then after you complete it, spending another 600 on the At Your Service gallery card. Those are counted as part of your battle pass and will need to be picked up. And then after that, you can just basically convert them all to units that you can spend on later. Now, that's a really good change. And that's not the only changes coming. Of course, another big change that they focused on was competitive and balance. And let's start with the first thing. This Friday, we'll start the second half of competitive. Your rank will not go down. They already changed that. They're not doing the 4 rank drop at the start of the season 1 part 2, but you will need to play 10 comp matches. So for example, if you're like me and you're just chilling in gold 3 because you just wanted the skin and you had a lot of other things to do and you didn't want to sit there and grind comp, you still will need to play 10 matches to then get your rewards. Now, of course, the rewards look like this for Season 1 Part 1, and that includes the Blood Shield skin for Sue, and then of course your icons, etc. And you will need to do what you want to do for Season 1 Part 2, where you're going to get the Blood Fire skin for Johnny Storm this time, and whatever. There's actually additional icons included this time, as they've included for Celestial as well. And you can still earn those rewards by just playing comp like you normally would. Then at the end of Season 1, there's still going to be a D rank, but it's going to be 6 levels instead of 7 like it was going into Season 1. I'm cool with all of that. Then there was a bunch of balance changes, and it started with attacking the 3 healer meta. They didn't like the way strategists were kind of dominating because of the fact of how fast they got their ults, and this was in particular to, of course, Cloak and Dagger, and Loki. Their amount needed to earn ult was so low that they almost always had them available. And because of that, they've done some serious changes to Cloak and Dagger in particular. She now has much higher need. She has a much higher bar to get her ult. Her dashes will not overlap anymore, and they're now down from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, which is a lot less time that she's spreading that glowy goo all over the field. So that is not going to make Cloak and Dagger's ult feel so oppressive and is always available, and you're just like, okay, we're just going to have to fight through this Cloak and Dagger ult. They also wanted to address Vanguards. Now, we are getting a new Vanguard in Ben Grimm, which is awesome, but they felt that, unfortunately, the Shield Vanguards were dominating, which I don't understand, like, really necessarily going after Shield Vanguard, but here we are. So Magneto and Doctor Strange are getting a nerf going into it. Now, they did increase movement in certain characters, or increasing the ability to get their ult faster. So in contrast to what they're doing to Loki and Cloak and Dagger, Magic and Venom are going to get their ult faster. Now, some other characters are getting some speed boost. Or going to see how this all plays out a little bit faster. They said the plan initially was they wanted to do big changes like this at the start of the season and at the mid-season, which is where we're at now. They do say though, if there is a big thing, they might do one like emergency patch going forward, but that remains to be seen if there's anything they feel they really need to go after. Now, these are a lot of good quality of life changes. I think this game is ready to really dive into Season 1 Part 2 coming this Friday, and I think most of us are going to be pretty happy with what's coming. A lot of people have been complaining a lot about 3 strategist meta, especially in higher ranks, and I feel like this is going to address that a little bit. I don't think with the mobility Magneto has, he should have been hit the same way Doctor Strange is, who can just fly off, but here we are. We'll see how that gets adjusted. They already took Storm down a peg after she became absolutely broken in the first half of Season 1, so she's going to get a hit. And there's going to be a full patch list with we'll get a full patch notes list probably closer to Friday when the chapter is going to drop. Now, we haven't seen anything on Ben and Johnny Storm in particular, and knowing the way Marvel Rivals does their video previews, we should be getting a lot of stuff over the next 2 days building up until the launch. Now, of course, we're going to have the stream later today that's going to include a lot of celebrities like Tim the Tatman and Necros, and they're all going to be showing off Ben and Johnny live. And then, of course, all of us content creator partners like myself will have access to show you that. We will be live tomorrow night on the channel doing a full stream showing off the new stuff of Ben and Johnny. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and later, mates.